Francisco, where Jim Cramer is this morning, get his take on the hotter than expected inflation number. But let me ask you this, Jim. Do you think the Fed has to go 75 basis points? And what does that do to the credibility of Jay Powell if they do?
Well, I want him, and I've been saying this, want him to go 100. Just get it over with, 100 to see if things slow down. I think that Jay Powell's beginning to get this reputation that he is a do-nothing guy. And what I really think he's trying to do is be measured enough to be able to bring things down. But measure's not going to cut it anymore. If he does something that really makes people realize, holy cow, there's going to be a recession, we cut back, there's more of a chance to be able to get through this. I think now we all just have to feel that there is going to be a recession of sorts. But, Andrew, the one thing that keeps coming up is the consumer is not going to be the source of it. We talk a lot about the consumer looking at the pump and looking at food, but the consumer's balance sheet is great. I'm not whistling past the graveyard. I'm just saying that versus 2008. I think we have to do everything versus 2008 because I think 2008 was something that really drove the stock market down. And this is going to take a lot of the parts of the market down, but not all of the parts of the market down.
100 basis points brings the market to where?
The market would go higher. We give the, well, not the NASDAQ. If your company's losing money, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get more money. And those companies are going to go under. And those companies are going to have big layoffs. I think out here, by the way, there's a surfeit of engineers. I mean, think about it. That was the height of the problem. And the market is creating a glut of engineers. Now, we have gluts of goods. We're going to have gluts of cars because the semiconductors are coming through. We don't have gluts of housing yet, but I think 5.5% to 6% mortgage is going to create that. So I'm listening to everybody, and I keep coming back to the same thing, which is you get gasoline down, and we have nothing to talk about 6 months from now. That's got to come down. And that can only come down if President Biden decides that he wants to speak to the largest producer of oil in the country, which happens to be in Texas. But that would put him with the fossil fuel people. And he doesn't want to do that because his base doesn't want him to sit down with Mike Wirth from Chevron.
I just want to go back to this. 100 basis points, do you think the market rallies?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's just waiting for Jay Powell to show his teeth. And then they realize, listen, the Fed is not going to let this get any more out of control. And then the market rallies.
And what handicap the fact that he does that at this point?
I still think he's incrementalist. I just think he feels that would just cause that could be too much like December of 2018. But everybody's in better shape than 2018. So it's worth doing. It's just he's got to get ahead of all the people who sit here and talk, who are expecting that they need 75. And they would all be appeased. All the bears would be appeased. Then it'd be over. It'd be over. Because he done something that just says, you know what, I know you guys all think that I'm asleep at the wheel. Here's 100. Go knock yourselves out. Go do what you have to do. But now we're going to be able to slow down and see what happens. Instead, it's going to be 50, and then we'll have the same panel, and they'll say you didn't do much. Then another 50, and the panel will come on and say you didn't do much. You know what? If he does 100, then what people say is, wow, hold it just a second, he's way ahead of us. Got to get the naysayers and the price target cutters out of the picture.